Hello, hello, hello. I'm Erica Lynn, better known as Erica Lynn Speaks.
If I can think about it for a second, learn to live life for the better. I had hard times, got a life coach for depression, got a life coach for depression. Now it's all mine, living days full of hard times. Ekalin, work on your mind, let's get on your grind. Working on the feelings inside, Ekalin got me on the rise.
Ekalin speaks, so the Ekalin speaks, so the Ekalin speaks, yeah, yeah. Ekalin speaks, so the Ekalin speaks, so the Ekalin speaks, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, alright. Looking up when I fell on hard times, they changed my mind. Got my head up, looking to the sky. Miss Lynn, she changed my life. Looking up when I fell on hard times. With her unique design. Got my head up, looking to the sky.
Ekalin speaks, so the Ekalin speaks, so the Ekalin speaks, yeah, yeah. Ekalin speaks, so the Ekalin.
Hello, hello, hello. This is your girl, Erica Lynn, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of Erica Lynn Speaks podcast. Y'all know how we do it over here. We like to play big or go home. Who are we playing big for? We are playing big for ourselves, okay? I'm so happy to be back. I feel like it's been forever since I did the last podcast, but it was only 3 weeks. We were supposed to be on a 2 week hiatus, and Erica Lynn caught COVID. And so I was down for the counts. I'm down for the count. So now I'm back. I'm all natural, and I'm loving this natural me, right? This particular time I got an opportunity to really like love on myself, get to know me, like go in my zen, right? And when I went in that zen, I feel much better mentally, physically, because when we experience something that's like hard on the body, hard on the mind, sometimes you may not come back from it, but it takes a powerful person or a person that's willing to go through their process to go through it and come out on the winning side. So you got a process you got to go through. I had a process. So while you're going through it, keep your head up because it's not going to always be that way. So anyway, I'm excited about doing tonight's podcast because I have some very special guests on the podcast that I've known all of their lives. And pumping up and empowering our young people, empowering the youth, being a part of something big, because I always say like our next generation be bigger than me, be better than me, be bolder than me. And so I'm excited to bring on tonight's group. I got a group of 3 Black, wonderful, powerful young men who are in the music industry, and they are kicking doors open and they're not taking no names. So anyway, I want you guys to put your hands together and join me in welcoming B.A.M.N to the platform tonight. Hello, hello.
Hey, what's going on? Doing out there? Thank you.
How are you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty well. Can't complain. How about yourself?
Good. Well, I'm glad you guys are able to come on the show. It's been a long time coming. Y'all was supposed to be on the podcast last week, but COVID had other plans, right? But we're here now, and I'm grateful and thankful that you're here. And so I want you guys to go around and introduce yourself and tell a little bit about who you are. So we can start with Brian.
Okay. My name is Brian. My stage name is Conscious MC. Um, Music is just, always been a passion for me. I actually started, doing music back in like the 3rd grade. I was rapping with a few classmates. Nick also happened to be one of them. Chemist actually happened to be one of them. So, just music always been a part of my life, and it's just something I'm glad I was able to continue with my brothers.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So next to you.
Oh, it's Q. I go by Cadillac Q. Artist and producer. I've been producing for 10 years. I've been an artist for 15. I've done shows, concerts, and music in America and overseas in Taiwan. I've also done a little bit of work in the Philippines. And I, came back home last year, and I'm looking forward to expanding. And I actually started working with these guys when I was overseas, and the work has been coming out fantastic. Like, I'm proud of these guys, and proud of what we're doing, the people we feature with, and the things that we've accomplished so far, and there's so much more to come.
All right, awesome. Well, when we come back around to you, I'm gonna have you tell everybody where you were overseas, and we'll talk just a little bit about that experience. But on to the next man, the man. What's up, the man with the master plan?
Thank you. I appreciate first and foremost you for having us on the platform. For anybody that doesn't know me and Erica go a long way back. Obviously, she knowing, me since I was a kid and things like that. I've also worked for a company, which is a phenomenal company. But a little bit about myself. My name is Nick. My stage name is Chemist, Killer Chemist, and whatnot. I was born and raised here in the east side of Detroit. And music was kind of something that I didn't know I was good at until I pretty much work with these guys. So I owe a lot to them, for believing in me. I always been a creative individual, from a designer to dancer, and then they found me with music. So I think with everything coming together, I owe it to them, because the idea for us to start rapping was like a group conversation, but they believed in my talent, and then once other people kind of saw what I could do, it kind of became more apparent. So that's a little bit about me.
Right, because all of you guys have more than just one talent. So, like Nick, you're good at 3D graphics and other stuff. Culante, what people don't know is he is the producer of the intro to Erica Lynn Speaks podcast. He, right? So, that's wonderful. Thank you. He also produced my album, Never Give Up. So that was cool. And so, Brian, other than rap, what other things that you like to do or that you can do? Say it like that.
I actually produce music as well. Cadillac Q was the one that actually gave me my first few pointers when I started producing. So that's one of the things I took on. Also, I went to school for psychology, so I'm kind of a little bit of a psychiatrist / life coach in my own way to my friends and my peers. Close to. Besides that, I mean, I like to be active. I love going to the gym. It's a great lifestyle for me. Something I incorporate in my routine. If not every day, at least 5 days. Like all various types of sports, kind of sports that drives for real. But really, my real passion is just music and writing. I'm a great songwriter. Also, like I said, producing. Q kind of been helping me getting with engineering, so I kind of like second in command to him when he's not there and stuff. So, yep, it's pretty much those things.
Okay, so y'all do it all. And what that sounds like to me is a bunch of powerful young Black men who are very talented, that's able to pull their talents together and come with an outcome called B.A.M.N. Wait, let me put it up on the screen. So y'all know those, so y'all can see how to spell it. B.A.M.N. Right?
Right. That's right. We out
Follow
here.
that IG.
Follow that IG.
Yeah, right. Right. So, okay, so you guys spell B.A.M.N, B-A-M-N, entertaining. Can you tell us, what does B.A.M.N mean?
Well, B.A.M.N is an acronym that stands for By Any Means Necessary. It was a famous quote by Malcolm X, and we took that and we it really meant something to us, and so we decided to do something with that and to really make it be something that's known, because in this music industry and in whatever endeavors that we follow, we're going to get it by any means necessary.
Okay, so that means that if a person is trying to finish school, they got to get it by any means
necessary.
That's right.
If they want to accomplish something else in their life and they really want it bad enough, then they got to
get it by any means necessary.
Okay, I like that. That's what's up. And when you put a positive spin on what that means, then you can really shoot for the stars. But I noticed that you guys talked about y'all grew up in Detroit, which I know y'all, but we doing it. I'm pulling out the questions. So Nick, can you tell us or tell the audience what it was like for you growing up in Detroit?
Yeah, absolutely. Like Detroit, I've been telling people for years, like Detroit is one of those areas where, you know, it's a lot of opportunity, but you have to look in the right places, right? And a couple years ago, a lot of people doubted the city, and the city has made a great comeback and things like that. So I would say, like, growing up in Detroit, like, I was sheltered to a certain degree, but I also understood the environment that I was around, right? So I think we all have had similar instances where we know people, who come from a street background, who also, I mean, have education and things like that too. So there's a mixture of both, and we know people that do both, and I don't think people understand that. Like, I feel like if you can survive in Detroit, it is as weird as it sounds, you can survive anywhere. So, and only people I feel like from Detroit know that. I feel like when we go anywhere, we can become adaptable, which explains, why Caddy was able to go over to Taiwan and do what he did in a completely different area that he wasn't even exposed to before. You know what I'm saying? So, um, I would say growing up in Detroit was definitely positive because obviously I was able to meet, my business partners, my brothers in this business. So, there's, like I said, there's always a lot under the surface that you can find. You just have to look for it and like kind of stick to your guts and be positive.
So it forwarded you guys, all of y'all, good opportunities. So that's the good thing. We got Sheila. Aaron. Hi, Sheila. Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight on the podcast. And earlier I didn't pull up, but Deja has said that y'all miss me and glad that I'm feeling better because I'm glad I'm feeling better too. Um, and so that's good. But I'm glad that all of y'all met. Y'all still are good friends. You guys handle the professional side, the professional, and you don't mix it with the friend, but it's the friend that tells you the truth when you need to hear the truth.
Yeah.
And so that is good. So I'm glad that y'all do. Bam. So Kulante, Nick talked about you being in Taiwan, and I said I was gonna bring that back up earlier. So everybody always asks me, how did you get to Taiwan or whatever? So how did you get to Taiwan, but how did going to Taiwan help you at this phase of your life? Like, what lessons did you learn?
I mean, going there, I could say I had been in America. I started to get very stagnant, and I was very frustrated at the time. I went through a bad breakup. Like it was horrible. And at the time, I was coming up to the end of my lease at the place I was staying at. And my sister reached out to me because I just seemed to not be, as receptive to things in life and not having a positive outlook. And she was like, maybe, you're talented. They like music and dance and all these things out here, and maybe you should take a chance and come out here. And I remember, getting my ticket purchased without me knowing. And even then, I still had a choice. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna pack my bags up and I'm gonna go. And I took the music equipment I had. I hopped on that plane, and I didn't look back. They would say oftentimes, a lot of people say, well, I'm leaving, and they might go to a different city, they might go to a different state. And people would often say, man, you went to a whole nother country. So that alone right there was bold, as I'm going through immigrations in these different countries and just getting to experience different parts of the world. The one thing I can take from it is that there's a popular belief that everywhere we go as black males that we're not wanted there. That is false. That is false. There's places that you can go, and as black males, and you know how a lot of things are, dictated with society today and some of the issues we have going on. What applies here don't apply there. So you get a chance to go somewhere and have a fresh start. And I just got to let go of all my worries as I was adapting to this new place. It made me more positive. It made me consistent. I picked up a new language because of it. So I am, for those who don't know, I am fluent in Mandarin Chinese as well. And it was something as a black man that I would never have seen myself doing, let alone, you know, speaking that specific language. But it was cool to say, well, hey, I'm a bilingual speaker and this is what I could do. And so I took them endeavors farther. We started to throw events. We would hang out with celebrities. And some of the people we started doing music with over there are celebrities in Taiwan now, some of their local people. And we had a big event called Drink Me Crazy. We would throw it at a place called the Lighthouse. And Drink Me Crazy would eventually end up, for the last two events, at a place called the Chicago Bar in Taiwan. I was living in a city called Kaohsiung. So Kaohsiung was the south side. I met another friend of mine who came back who was also from Detroit, and I met him over there. He came back. He was staying in a city called Taipei. Taipei is the north side. We had a friend that we met out there who used to play for the Detroit Pistons. His name was Tony Mitchell. Tony Mitchell was a friend of ours, and another friend who would leave Taiwan's basketball team and end up getting a deal to play for the Toronto Raptors. So overall, we were just, you know, exposed to a lot of things, and it really opened my eyes. And I came back home with a positive mindset, and I said, well, if I can do it there, I ain't even from there, you know, I can do it here. And it turned into what you see right now. B.A.M.N, Conscious MC, Killer Chemist, and myself. And then we also have affiliate members as well, because we got a kind of Wu-Tang thing going on. So
so this volume and numbers is what you're saying. It's volume, like you building the whole squad out there.
Absolutely. Why create more competition and opposition when y'all can compete together?
That's what's up. I like that. So, Brian, I want to know from you, how did you know that this was your calling?
Interesting. Well, like I said, since third grade, I've been doing music. But you know, my stepdad, he had a studio in his basement, so you know, he used to always, you know, record music, and he actually showed me how to do music, and he used to let me record things sometimes. Also, my granddad on my father's side, I think he used to play the saxophone or the trumpet. It was one of those instruments, but you know, music it's just always ran in my blood. And I also found out recently that Jay Dilla, rest in peace, happened to be one of my cousins on my mom's side. You know, so it's just, you know, after just learning all of that, and then just always knowing I had a passion for it, you know, just always hearing different, you know, rap music, you know, different artists to like Eminem, Tupac, Big, like I was just always influenced by it at a young age. It was something I enjoyed, and I definitely want to pursue. Then eventually, you know, it all just came around. You know, brand had the same passion, so you know, we just formed together a clique.
Right, y'all got it going on. So, Nick, so who was your inspiration?
Like just in music in general, or just
or if you had another person that you admired.
I would say some of my biggest inspirations, like music wise, well, from dancing, so me and Caddy are in a crew called GCOS, which stands for God Children of Soul. So a lot of our influence in that crew in the crew came from James Brown. So James Brown is obviously the godfather of soul. So, but people don't understand, like the melodies and like the funk, like inspired hip hop too. Like, so it had an impact in both areas. So I always got to give it up to James Brown for that. Other people that I've admired is like Lil Wayne, Biggie, a lot of those types of artists, I think, and Cassidy, because I'm a big fan of battle rap as well. So I think that kind of inspired my style, to just like be able to punch, which basically means just like it's kind of like when you listen to Lil Wayne, right? Like he says like simple bars, you know, it's like those bars that instantly click. So
Wow. But not like mystical, not like that. That's too fast.
no, not like in a sense. It would be it would be like Mike Epps made a joke about it, right? So so Mike Epps said something on the power generator, which obviously power generator. Like it's something that's like an instant thought. You know
Like
what I'm
an
saying?
anomaly or something.
In a way. So I feel like that those types of things, those types of elements like inspired my style. And then I started getting into storytelling, which is like I feel like Biggie does that very well. And things like that. James Brown does it very well in his music. And I think those types of elements like form my style.
Okay. Well, I can't wait to hear more of your style. And we didn't get a chance to upload samples of y'all audio. So right at this moment, Q, tell them like where they can find y'all. We're gonna plug throughout the show so that they'll have your information. And when people want to book you guys or just follow and hear your music, where do they follow you at?
I mean, you can find us on all platforms: Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Music. I think we on KK Box and some of those other platforms as well. But any platform you can think of, including Pandora, you can go in and you can type in B.A.M.N. We have our lead single out right now. It's called No Filter. No Filter is a track that just basically outlines our three perspectives of a party or a night that and events that took place, which is real dope. The second single we have out is called Rari Drift. Rari Drift is just essentially talking about if we were at a point where we were accumulating those dollars and we had a Ferrari, what would we do with it? And so it's more of a what if thing, and it's just a dope concept to overall play around with. And Opposition is the third single that we have out. Opposition is basically classic hip hop, that boom bap with the knock and the beat, and where we just getting real gritty with the lines and the punches and just letting people know, if you decide to, oppose us on a lyrical level, this is what we have to show. So if you can match the bar, then come on with it. If not, it's all rap, it's all music, just take it for what it is, enjoy it. We're giving you that gritty feeling, and it's that 1, 2, 3 pattern, because that's our formula. You go from one, go with the next, and end with the third, and it just really has that grimy, classic Detroit's Most Wanted, rock bottom, Wu-Tang type of feel. Like it's just overall, it's just a dope hip hop track. So again, we got No Filter, Rari Drip, and Opposition. So those are the three that you can search and check out on every platform. You definitely will enjoy them. They were all produced by me, and all three of us are on each of these tracks, and they are amazing.
That's wonderful. So you guys are like, I'm so proud of y'all because you took the knowledge that you borrowed. You took the knowledge that you brought from your parents and added it with the talents that that you have, and now you guys have formed a business or formed an entity, or what we say, a squad. Y'all getting a squad together. But I want to know, because a lot of people have this misconception or this idea that when you are pursuing your dream, your goal of rapping or whatever artistry that a person has, that they can't work a regular job, that's their focus from the start to finish, and that going into it, you're supposed to instantly, be able to make money. But obviously we know that's not the truth, because it take money to make money. But I always like to ask for you guys to people to share their experience of what it's like going through it and still living in reality, meaning, do you guys have to work another job while you're pursuing your career? Okay, so start with you, Brian.
I most definitely agree with you. I believe, most people do have that, that misconception that, you're pursuing your dreams and all the dreams gonna blow in with it. And that's completely false. Like, it actually takes more money, starting out in order to see it come back, which, coming back could take, years down on, I just feel like it depends, I feel like everything needs a good balance. So, as long as, and like I said, it's like, it's three of us. So, as long as we are doing our end on as far as putting the money up, then, eventually we'll see more of it come back, and then some, then even more. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And what about you, Nick? What's your take on that?
I think for me, I kind of went up and down, and I feel like I agree with you. Like this journey, as far as like being an entrepreneur and an artist, is first of all not for the weak. I think I constantly go through a flux every day, as far as like emotionally, because it's like, you know, you could go hard in your business one day and then everything burns the next day, So I feel as though us being in a group, it's a great thing because we all have different perspectives that add value to the group. But at the same time, we're also tripling the risk because whatever goes on in Brian's life and Q's life and my life, they all affect the business. So we have to figure out, how to maintain each other's sanity, because I feel like as Black men as well, like we are our biggest support group, what I'm saying? And it's important for us to fall on each other. So I lean on these guys a lot when I'm going through things. And 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 they give me the real, whether I want to hear it or not. That's what I'm there for, you know what I'm saying? And I would say, like, it's if you by yourself in this journey, find some type of level of support, whether that's social media, like people who align with the vision, I think is important. So I think that just happened to be better for us because we've been knowing each other 20 plus years. So at this point, so we know the ins and outs of each other. Like it's been some days where Brian Conscious will come up to me, right? And he'll say like, man, I wasn't feeling something with a certain decision. I'll be like, man, I was thinking the same thing. Like, and that'd just be how it go. You know what I'm saying? Same with Q as well. So I think we're all interlinked because we've been around each other so long. So I would say the journey is definitely an up and down thing, but you just have to like keep pushing. And I think that goes into understanding about failure, right? I don't think failure really truly exists, right? Because the only time you fail is when you stop. So if you had to run a race and you quit the race, then you fail. But if you finish the race, maybe you blew a calf or something like that, and you still finish.
Right.
You still finish the race. It just may not be in the place that you wanted to be.
Right.
And you still get kudos for finishing the race because you overcame something that really could have destroyed a lot of people. So that's my take on it.
Yeah. But I feel you on that though, finishing the race. Cause when I did those 4 miles yesterday, I wanted to call somebody and be like, can you come and get me? And so and then I went to customs like, I can't believe I did this. But then when I got closer back home and it's close, but yet so far, I was just real thankful, like, dang, I actually did it. Now I can't wait to do it again.
Mhm.
Because when you finish the race, that open up more opportunities for you, and not just physically but mentally. It open up those opportunities in your mind, get your brain going. It helps you think. It's like it clear your skin, right, Q Latte?
Mhm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So what's next for BAM? Like what you guys got going on? Tell me.
I think the question is, what don't we got going on, right?
Okay.
Mm,
Uh,
mm.
So do you have any performances coming up, or shows? You guys doing TV shows? Like what are you working on? What projects? Or if you could share.
I'll start because we do have a couple of things, a lot of details being worked behind the scenes, but uh, what is it? About a couple weeks ago, I don't know, time running together. A month ago, we went to Boston, right? So we made some connects out there. So Going to be going back to the East Coast eventually. Dates to be determined. But follow us on our social media, obviously, B.A.M.N, for the updates and things like that. We also thank you, Deja, for that. Yeah, we're doing international stuff as well. It's gonna be sick, man. Like, we got some shows we gonna do here in Detroit. Some connects with 107.5. If people are not familiar, the location is called B.A.M.N. It's a spot on, like, if you're familiar in Detroit, on Woodward. So we're gonna be hopefully doing some things with them in the future, connecting with the radio. So those are things we do.
Well, I'm happy that I'm doing my part. Brought y'all on the podcast. So, how does it feel, Brian? You finally reached the throne of Erica Lynn Speaks.
Nah, I
No,
feel good. Hey, good. No, we appreciate you having us. No, I feel good. I mean, this is all part of the journey. You know, can you hear me? Can you hear
yes,
me okay?
yes,
Okay, yeah, this is all part of the journey. So I mean, we are very grateful that you're giving us your platform to just help voice more of our projects, our journey, everything we got coming up. So
yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good. And so tell me again about the songs that you got out, so that everybody will know.
So on all platforms, like I said, Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, KK Box, possibly any streaming platform you could think of. We've got B.A.M.N, No Filter. No Filter is a dope single. We've got B.A.M.N, Rari Drift. Rari Drift is a dope single. And we've got B.A.M.N Opposition. And I'll say it different from the first time. They're three different flavors, all from the same people, but three different flavors, just to show a little bit of our versatility as a group. A lot of times these days, I feel artists and groups, they make one specific type of music. They may use one type of beat and everything is the same. We believe in that old school method and having some versatility and being a little diverse, so that we have a longer longevity period. When things tend to sound the same, it's like eating the same food. You don't want Chinese food Monday through Friday and think you're going to want it Saturday. Your taste buds going to get bland. You're going to, I don't want this.
Right.
So we just try and switch up the cuisine for people so it's more easy to digest.
Right. So when you by saying that means people my age group would be like enjoy the music as well. You guys are different.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If y'all still on the hip hop wave, y'all
Yeah,
enjoy it.
I'm
Right.
still on the hip hop
Okay,
wave.
all right,
I'm
okay,
just
cool.
getting started. I'm about to live my best life.
Oh, I also want to mention too. I forgot to mention.
Go ahead.
We're gonna be doing some video shoots as well for some of the singles. One is gonna be for No Filter, and the other one is gonna be for Opposition. So I know a lot of people have been wanting visuals from us because they do like the music. So that should be coming probably within the month. For people to actually see a visual, because we've already done performances, but people want to see like a clean cut visual to show where we from. So that's coming too. So follow us on Instagram.
Right. Well, I like the fact that you guys are taking the business part of what you're doing serious before you out there like the glitz and the glamour and don't have the business together. And I know you guys personally, so I can personally say behind the scenes, like, you guys really focus on making sure that all your T's were crossed and your I's were dotted. But what is that like for you, Kulante, or what does that look like for you, just to give an example for others that's watching, for them to understand how important it is to have your paperwork together?
I mean, it's very important. First of all, as an artist, a lot of people put out music and they don't have their BMI set up. So now your music is out here streaming on the radio and you're not collecting a dollar from it when you could be collecting dollar. A nice little penny from your music being in rotation. Most people don't have themselves incorporated. So then when they go out and they use a name, and they may have had the name first, but then another group comes out with that name, they can sue you even though you had it first because you didn't put it in the paperwork. Your paperwork and having the business set up properly are the things that keeps everything etched in stone. If you're making money under the table, you can't file income tax on what you're making. You don't see any returns, and then that's how you get yourself into trouble. So you get to avoid a lot of legal trouble by making sure that you have things set up properly. And if you don't have those things set up, you may have some real nice music, and one day a label or a company comes to you, but guess what? They can't do business with you because you don't have paperwork. So basically, you don't exist. When you have the business, the paperwork, and the legal procedures and the legal work set in stone, you have your attorneys. You're ready to take on any obstacle that may present itself to you. And that is a very important aspect of doing music, which a lot of people lose out on opportunities because there's people I've known who are on songs with people like Snoop Dogg, but they don't have their BMI or anything set up. So Snoop is getting paid off this music. You're not receiving a dollar. So you're just sitting there, where my money at? Well, where your paperwork at?
Right. And so I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad that you guys are moving correctly. Nobody ever knows everything at first, but the point is you get out there and you start learning as much as you can. And of course you learn the rest along the way. I just want to bring a comment in from the audience. Sheila said she need a hip hop dictionary. She'll look you guys up on Spotify and listen to your music. Yeah. Y'all say hi to
Hey Sheila, make sure you send us some feedback. Send us some feedback. Once you follow us and listen to the music, let us know your honest opinion. We're gonna be posting different comments. I've been collecting comments as well too. So as a part of the content to show the feedback we've been getting from the music. So please just let us know, your honest opinion, what you think. We take all constructive criticism.
Well, that's good. That's good. What does this say? B.A.M.N Entertainment, you guys are the perfect example of young Black men running the industry the right way. It's important to learn about the industry that you want to be in. Absolutely. You say don't go into something and then learn, and start learning something about it as you're going into it so you can add more. Absolutely. Sheila responded. She said she will do. Will do. I wanted to pull this picture up. Where did it go? Oh, it's right here. Okay. So this is a powerful picture right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah, clean.
Who them brothers right there?
Oh, just to mention, the photo was done by Allure and Soul Photography. They are another business that's they're like family, but also have their paperwork and everything set up properly, and they are a very, very talented photography company.
Shout out to Felix and Nova.
Right. Shout out to Felix and Nova. That was an awesome album cover. It was dope. I was like, dang. My team enjoyed making y'all podcast cover because that picture was just so sweet. I was like, dang, they was sharp. And the photographer did a really good job bringing out like the essence of that photo. So shout out to y'all and the photographer team.
Thank you, Ty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What Sheila says, she says she wish you the best. And then Maya changed in. She said, "Go Suns."
Hey,
What's up,
OG?
Yeah. And so Maya said, "Y'all look good, looking good."
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Y'all representing, and that's good. So, and so now that you guys have been doing the your schooling and getting yourself together professionally and doing the music, do you find it hard being able to balance the both, or how do you separate?
I would say the quickest way I can answer that is that it depends on where you work. However, music is it's a risky occupation. It requires time and effort. But you can, when you're in your beginning stages, you can put in some minimal time. You know, you do your 8 hours at work and then you go home and you put in 6 on a computer or in the studio or doing a study session or a paperwork session. We have had plenty of times where we got together to do any of the above. Make sure we signed our paperwork properly, to make sure that we input some information properly, to make sure a mix sounds good or a song sounds good. And, you know, between that, like I said, it comes down to the occupation. So like today, I just got licensed by the state to sell life, accident, and health insurance.
Congratulations.
And that is not a 9 to 5. So that was one of the decisions I've made, because it would allow me more free time, as long as I'm on top of what I'm doing, to put more time into BAM as well, without worrying if I'm going to get fired for leaving 10 minutes early, or if I'm going to get fired because I can't take 3 days off to go travel somewhere to do a set of shows. Like, so to answer your question from earlier, it is possible to be an artist and to work in a different occupation. There's famous hip hop artists who are firemen, famous hip hop artists who are policemen, famous hip hop artists who are chefs, and they take what they do, and at the end of the day, they get to get a big revenue accrual from both. There's nothing wrong with doing more than just rap. Some people get lucky and they can just do rap. But the problem with that is, when you do just rap, you're going to be broke for a very, very, very long time until you start to see a turnover. So if you want to have something to hold you and give you some cushion along the way, don't pick up an occupation. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Go to work. Go to work.
Right. Maya said, need a 9 to 5 until the passion is truly birthed. Say it again, Maya. Say it again. So, Brian, do you have something you want to add to that?
You mean as far as what he just answered?
Yes.
As far as, okay. What was the question again? I'm sorry. Could you go back real quick?
Find it.
I got engulfed with what he was saying. Go.
Y'all funny. Okay. I was asking, finding balance. Like, do you find it hard trying to find balance between your work life and doing the music, or is this something that flows easily for you?
For myself, I would say I fluctuate sometimes. I would say for me, I like to make sure like I got the work situation situated. And as far as, you know, the craft, I mean, as far as coming back, if I could put in at least maybe like 2 to 3 hours a day into my craft, I feel like that'll help propel me forward, you know. So I do believe good balance is very important, you know, as far as longevity, for real, because, you know, there's been a lot of times where, like, you know, I, you know, just went straight hard, you know, I worked, then came and did music, and I really, you know, didn't catch up on sleep or different things like that. And I noticed I reach burnout way quicker if I just pace myself and just, you know, work smarter, not harder. So
right. Then you get a free and cluttered mind, right? Free and clear.
exactly.
Y'all got fans on here. El Labo. He said, "What's up, family? How y'all doing?"
Corey.
Oh, that's Corey.
Yeah.
Hey, hey, Corey.
That's another BAM affiliate right there. That's our creative designer.
Oh man, and he could draw. Oh, he could draw. I tell you.
Yeah, okay.
So now again, if I wanted to book BAM ENT, how do I find you guys? What's your social media platforms?
Nick, take the floor.
So the main platform where we're active is Instagram. So follow us on Instagram. It's on the screen, which is B.A.M.N 2_ENT. That is our main platform at the moment, just because I've learned from my experience with social media, it's easier to focus and become great at something and then expand. So we will eventually be expanding to like Facebook. We're also on YouTube. and things like that as well. But Instagram is kind of like the main hub. So if you follow us on Instagram and the link is in the bio, that will connect to Spotify, YouTube, pretty much the major platforms that people are on. We're on Apple Music. So that's where we live.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so if you want to shoot us a DM, we respond. We all have access and manage the page. So even if one of us doesn't see it, you have a chance for, us and our manager, Deja, to see it. And so please shoot us a DM there for all types of inquiries, or reach out to our manager and she'll relay the message as well, which all of our social links are in the are in the bio as well.
Right. So your manager did you have a very good manager because she sent y'all contact information over prior to arrival. So shout out to your manager. And she said in order to you can email
Yeah.
her at info@bamnc.com. She also provided a phone number where you can contact her if you guys are looking to book BAM at 586-277-1076. So if you guys want to give their manager Deja a call, then she'll get the guys all set up and provide the information that you need to book BAM. So BAM, listen, every time I see young black men doing something powerful and successful, that tells me that either they have a lot of internal strength or they have a great family support system. So, can you tell us what type of support system that you guys have other than each other, that really allowed you to even get to where you are now, to even be a strong partner for the other two?
I mean, we've had mothers, fathers, siblings, uncles, people who were thinking that we were a joke until we made them believers. We pulled a LeBron. We did. We made a believer out of you. And when we would do events, these people would show up. It started off with little to nothing, and over time, the people we were around, we would show them a piece of our work, and they became believers. And then people would push us more. I want to see you here. I want to see you do this. I want to see you do that. We've had mentors. We've had I could say religious role models, for maybe somebody's a Buddhist, or maybe somebody goes to church a lot or whatever, or somebody's a Muslim, no disrespect to anybody's beliefs, but, maybe somebody's had a religious guide, or like I said, a mentor, or just somebody who, because we all had points where we probably would have walked down the wrong path, and we had people come along and bump us back on track. And because they gave us that opportunity, we've continued to move forward.
So, Brian, how important is it for somebody that's listening to this podcast that wants to become an artist or want to do what you do and kind of follow a little bit of your blueprint? What type of advice would you give them?
Type of advice I would give. Be patient, be persistent. Know that it's not gonna all come in one day, 1 week. Everything takes time. And we started this group, 2020, I wonder what 2020 guys. Yeah, so we just really had our first show like this summer for real. Well, yeah, like this summer really. So it's just that just goes to show that it's a lot of work behind the scenes that goes into this and making things work, and having a good team around you. That is definitely something present. Because like I believe, like he was saying, being alone, it's just cool sometimes, but it's always nice to have other people around you that can help guide you or steer you in the right direction if just in case you're falling off or anything. And, yeah, our support group, we got you, of course.
So, right. So we went the whole podcast, and I did that on purpose, because everybody don't necessarily know who you guys are. And so I wanted to make sure that we focus on the points, and I got a chance to interview you guys and pull out all the things that I enjoy about you, allowing the audience to enjoy those same qualities and if not more. So anyway, Kulante is my son. He is my oldest son of my 3 children. So shout out to Caddy Q. And so these 2 gentlemen have been friends with him since elementary school. And so when I say I know them all their life, I have. And I'm so proud of you guys because you really have taken the things that you've learned from me, like watching me set up a business, watching how I set things up in the infrastructure, and taking those principles along with finding your own principles and making making it to who you guys are right now. But I want Nick, can you give someone like a word of encouragement or something that they can take away and say, okay, well, I heard this from the chemist and it just blow me away. It just make me want to just be my best and rock out.
Yeah. Anybody that know me, I'm a prolific person, so I got a bunch of them. But a couple of things that I could say. The first thing that I would say is it's a common saying that everybody knows, but it's very true because it takes a village to raise a child. So I say that to say because I've tried to do a lot of things by myself, and they can only get you so far when you have a limited range of knowledge, or you can have a great vast of knowledge in a lot of areas, but it takes other people's experiences for us to expand. That's how companies have been started. That's how billionaires and millionaires have been made based off the knowledge of other people. So I would say it takes a village to raise a child. You need somebody to excel and grow, um, whether that's a partner in a relationship, whether it's a mom, a dad, a friend. Somebody has to push you to become better than yourself because motivation only gets you so far when it's like you got to have the will, to do it as well. So I would say another thing would be um, to always believe in yourself, and put your goals first, because at the end of the day, when everybody's gone, it's just you. So I think it's understanding who you are. Um, and that's hard too, because I think we all go through a little bit of imposter syndrome where we feel like we're somebody else. I think everybody goes through that, but I think once you understand, like, this is what I believe in, and this is who I am, I think you're 1,000 light years away, farther than the people who are just going day to day and they kind of just doing things because, life happens to you, but also for you. You know what I'm saying? So you just kind of got to be true with that. So
Right, right. And life happens through you. Your life flowing through you, blessing somebody else. Before I move on to Brian with the same question, uh, what's up with that shirt you got on? I'm loving that shirt. How can I get one?
all right, so this is our B.A.M.N t-shirt. We've been getting a lot of requests for this. So for anybody that's watching this platform, if you want a BAM shirt, please follow us on Instagram and shoot us a DM that says I want a shirt. Please provide your first and last name and email, and that will help us out a lot. We will get in contact. We'll get in contact with you so we can build our list of people who want shirts, and that'll provide at least a basis for pre-order. So this one is the black edition. I wish I had the white one. Right now, I don't have it right now, but I don't know if do you guys have it right now handy? White. If not, don't. I mean, let's see.
Right.
But
Okay.
but yeah, this is the black edition. We also have a white edition as well. So yeah, shoot us a DM.
All right.
We don't
Yeah.
have it now. Sorry.
Okay.
That's cool. At least we got this one, so we good.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
wait, hold on. I found one. Look. Shout out.
Hey, we always come prepared. That's the white one. So
Okay, so oh, that's nice. I like that. But I like that black one too. So Brian, do you have like some advice or words of wisdom for someone who perhaps is approaching the industry, or you just have a great takeaway, something that they can say, Conscious MC gave me and it blessed me?
I would say stay in tune with God, and through God, God will help you. God will help reveal you to you. You know, because most people, they may not be too sure of themselves. And this kind of industry, you definitely got to be sure of yourself. I mean, you know, like being an artist ain't easy. You know, like that's constant coming up with constant material, and you know, having to push it out through the mic, and you know what I'm saying. It's just a whole process. I mean, it's fun, but it's not for the weak. You know. So I would just say to anybody out there that's trying to be an aspiring artist, I would say just stay in tune with yourself and stay 10 toes. Keep God first.
All right, that's right. Keep God first. The Caddy Q, last but not least, right? Do you have some words of wisdom for somebody who may be embarking on this journey for themselves and they don't know what direction to go in, or even how to do it, or even if they even is ready to do this?
I mean, the first thing I say is, don't be afraid to test your iron. You know what I mean? When you do your first show, how that goes will probably let you know if you're meant for it or not. You know, because everybody's not meant to be a showcase and performing artist. Some people just put out good albums and they've never done a show in their life, but they're accruing revenue. You know, so it'll let you show where you stand. The second thing I say is, it might not happen here, and what I mean by that is, you may not blow up in the state that you're from. You may go do a show in New York or in California or in Florida, and you blow up there, and people from your hometown like, what? This the dude that, this dude from such and such. This guy I went to school with. And your love from your city may be acquired from getting it elsewhere. The third thing I'll say is, one of my biggest failures from early on was, you can't do it all by yourself. And I don't mean that you have to be in a group, but I mean that by saying, you might be good at producing the music and writing lyrics and recording, but you might not be good at marketing your social media. You may not be good at holding yourself accountable for filling out your paperwork. You may not be able to shoot your own videos. Don't be ashamed to have or to reach out to other people to do other things, because you cannot do it all yourself. That will hinder you, and it will control how far you can go.
Right.
And the last thing I'll say is, like I said, be bold. It may be scary situations. You may be afraid. You may be shy sometimes. You know what I mean? But if this is really what you want to do, don't be afraid to put yourself out there and listen to the people who criticize you, and listen to your haters. Oftentimes people say don't listen to your haters, but listen to your haters. Reason being is because they might be the ones who push you forward. All right, he's saying I'm garbage. And you listening to that advice, and you training, and you sharpening your pen, and you come out and you be dope. And they say, how you do it? I was listening to my haters. Listen to your criticizers, because your criticizers might be the one that give you a crucial piece of key information that may be the one thing that you're missing, that's stopping you from making it to that next level on the platform. So that's pretty much what I could say.
All right. Well, that's pretty powerful. All three of you all are powerful. You have dropped powerful words. You have encouraged the audience, gave them an idea of what they can look out for or have to look up to, telling them how important it is to have your business together, as well as the entertainment side, and making sure, like you said, crossing your T's and dotting your I's. So I really applaud you gentlemen for being on top of your game and moving in all different directions. Like, you're moving in one direction, but you got, would you say, different branches attached to you, and that's good, and I like that. And so thank you guys for just being wonderful Black men. I'm proud of you all.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
Having us. Thank you for having us, for real.
So you guys, the podcast is coming to the end, and I usually don't hold people longer than an hour so they can finish whatever they have to do for the day. But do you all have any last words or anything? One more time, how they can reach y'all before we get out of here?
Yeah, so for me, I'll make it short, concise. Like I said, you could find our music on all platforms. B.A.M.N. Like I said, No Filter, Rari Drift, Opposition. Make sure you check them out. You'll love them. The visuals will be out for those soon. We do have music coming out in the future. We have featured with some very, very legendary artists. I'll name one. But I won't name all of them. So one of the people that we have featured with, and we actually performed at the venue he performed at in Boston, we featured with B.A.M.N. So we have a song called Dope that will be coming out in the near future. So stay tuned to that.
All right. Shout out. All right. Well, Q-Lante or Caddy Q. That's our time. The podcast is over, and I appreciate you guys for coming here. I'm going to take you guys off the screen and do my closing. But again, thank you for being my honored guest tonight on Erica Lynn Speaks podcast.
No problem. Follow us on IG. Follow us on IG.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Keep going. Keep going.
You're welcome. God bless you guys.
You as well.
All right, you guys. It's been an awesome podcast. I'm happy to be a part of something great, something that's going to be bigger and better than me. Knowledge is key, right? The more you know, the less chances you have of somebody taking advantage of you or telling you something that you know not as fact. And so at least you have an opportunity to go get the right answer if you don't know the right answer. And I like some of the key points that the gentleman brought out tonight as far as having balance, having a support system, focusing on your paperwork, as well as the entertainment side. So there's a whole bunch of things that obviously you see, there's a whole bunch of things that you got to do in order to maintain and continue to go through. So nothing that we want in life is easy. If it's easy, then maybe it wasn't meant for you. If it's hard, then when you get it, you will appreciate it even more, right? Because you worked hard to get it and you know what you got to do to maintain it. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I just realized that the other light, I didn't hit it before the podcast was on, but that's okay. Y'all got one bright side of me. Anyway, next week we're going to have Rodney Barris and Tamika Harris on the podcast. Rodney is going to be the guest podcast host. I will be out of town at a conference, and so Rodney is going to make sure that the podcast go on. You guys don't want to miss it. You're going to learn a lot from the young lady Tamika, and Rodney is going to bring something special to the podcast that particular even next Saturday. Next Wednesday. So anyway, I got to get out of here, and I know you guys got to go. Thank you for joining Erica Lynn Speaks podcast. You can follow us on YouTube, Erica Lynn Speaks. We're on Instagram, Erica Lynn Speaks. Just pretty much type in Erica Lynn Speaks and then I pop up. And so again, we'll see you next week, Wednesday at 7 p.m. That's my time. I got to go. God bless you. Always remember to take one step beyond you. God bless you. I'll see you guys next week. This podcast was brought to you by EricaLynnSpeaks.com. Sign up for your free consultation today at EricaLynnSpeaks.com/work with me. And just remember, it only takes just one step beyond you.
Beyond you. I say